Today we are going to start with the another pattern of inheritance, that is multiple allelism. Now multiple allelism and codominance both were discovered by Bernstein in 1925, and multiple allelism is a phenomena in which one phenotype is regulated by more than two allelic pair. That means more than two allelic forms are regulating one phenotype or a gene. Let us try and understand with an example. The human blood group, that is ABO blood group, is an example of multiple allelism also, because here the blood group is regulated by three forms of a particular gene. The three allelic forms are IA, IB and the small I. Now all the three alleles contribute in deciding the phenotype of an individual, that means the blood group of an individual. However, only two are required to express itself. Not all the three are present to express the phenotype. Only two of the allelic forms has to be there to express the blood group. Now let us try and understand with the help of an example over here. Suppose if we talk of the allelic forms, the possibility is the IA blood group has another person with the same blood group. The second possibility is IA is present with small I, or we can also write as I0 or IO. So over here I am writing small I. The third possibility is IB and IB. Fourth, IB and small I again over here. The fifth possibility is IA and IB, and the sixth is small I and I. Now if we try and interpret, these are the all 6 possible genotypes. So 6 possible genotypes available with allelic forms IA, IB and I. Let me separate out with this. So genotype is 6 possible genotype with the blood group ABO of human beings. Now IA and IA over here will have an individual with the blood group A, whereas IA and small I0 or IO will be having the blood group also as A. But here this is a homozygous condition where both the allelic forms are same over here. The blood group will be obviously A. In the second situation, the blood group over here is again A, but it is heterozygous because one of the allelic form is IA and the other is IO or small I. The third is the blood group B because it is a homozygous condition. Over here, the fourth one will also have B, but it is a heterozygous condition. So we understand this as this is homozygous because the allelic pair is same, and this is a heterozygous condition because the allelic pair is different. Similar condition is observed over here. However, if you study carefully, you will observe it has an allelic form IA and IB. So the blood group of the person will be AB. In the sixth case, small I or IO over here, since it is both are together in a homozygous situation, the blood group of the individual will be O. Now out of this 6 genotype, we find that IA and IB are the dominant ones over here, as you can see clearly, whereas this is the recessive one. IO or I, small I, is a recessive one. So the 6 possible genotypes are there, but if when we observe this carefully, there is only an allelic pair which is responsible for the expression of a one phenotype, in spite of the fact that there are 3 allelic forms which are available that regulate the phenotype, that is the blood group, one character or one trait. Let us understand what will be the phenotype of this. Now the possible phenotype are, the phenotype when we talk of the blood group, there are 4 phenotype possible: A, B over here, AB and O. So the 4 phenotype for the blood group and 6 genotype are there for ABO human being blood group. This, when we are talking IA and IB, the IA is actually, I represents the particular glycoprotein, and here this A is an antigen which is present on the walls or on the outer side of the RBC, whereas it has an antibody B. Now, this antibody cannot be similar because the reaction will take place. So therefore, the antibody is opposite of the antigen which is present on RBC, and their antigen is responsible for producing certain kind of glycoprotein. So here, this example or this shows multiple allelism in which a gene exists in more than 2 allelic pair forms, and it regulates one phenotype, that is the blood group over here. So multiple allelism is another deviation from the Mendelism. Now if we try and understand this in a better way, let us take the example. Suppose father is having a blood group A, whereas the mother is having blood group B. Now, if it is not specified clearly that this is homozygous condition, that means the genotype is homozygous, we normally consider it as a heterozygous for our calculations. So the genotype of the father will be IA and small I, and the mother will be IB and again small I. Now when we arrange this in a Punnett square, the gametes which will be formed by these, the father will contribute IA and small I, the mother will contribute the gametes like this. Now here, on crossing, now as you can see over here, the gametes formed by the father are having IA and small I, whereas the mother is having IB and I. Now over here we find that when the crossing takes place, the chances of all 4 types of blood group are there, and it is 25% chance for each blood group. So 25% chance of getting the blood group as AB over here. The other is 25% chance of getting the blood group as B. Again 25% chance of getting the blood group as A, and 25% of chance for getting a blood group O over here because of the recessive genes which are present together. So in the case if father is A and B, the chances are, if we have to consider them as a heterozygous condition over here because it is not specified. So we take it as a heterozygous condition, and arranging them in the Punnett scale, we get the possibility as this. Now let us talk about a condition in which the allelic pair is homozygous and it is clearly mentioned. So the gametes formed over here, it is IA and IA, and the mother will be IB and IB. So the gametes which will be produced by them, the father will contribute as IA and IA, and mother will contribute IB and IB. So here all the four will be having similar blood group. That means 100% chance of getting the blood group as AB of the offspring. So by this we can calculate, or we can find out the genotype of the offspring. So multiple allelism is another deviation from the Mendelism.